Now, one thing about Cardi and Uzi that just can't be denied is that, bro, they have some of the craziest unreleased vaults, but mainly it's their versions of their albums that they have. Bro, with these rappers, especially with Cardi and Uzi, bro, they go through multiple variations of the same damn album. But to me, what I see, and it's almost like a trend on the internet, is that people really talk about, and I know they talk about it more for Cardi than for Uzi, but a lot of people talk about Eternal Take version 1 and Whole Lotta Red version 1. And today I just want to talk about what if both of these albums drop. Now first, I want to talk about Cardi's album, because I think what would have happened if his album dropped would have been more like, you know what I'm saying, there would have been more impact if that album dropped. Now let me play you a couple songs that would have been from this album, I'm saying, so you can see a little sample of what this would have sounded like.
Go yard, I done did it. Big Goku, bitch, you krillin'. Bitch, I been rich, are you kidding? This my type of living. Fuck it, that in the coupe, oh yeah. Got a pipe full of red, oh yeah. Fuck it, that in the coupe, oh yeah. Walk around them bills. Walk around them bills. Yeah, walk around them bills.
Basically, in my interpretation of it, it would have been more of like a Die Lit Part 2, which is completely fire because, bro, Die Lit's my favorite Cardi album. I go back to that shit once every 3 months, you know what I'm saying? Get a little full listen. But yeah, bro, this would have been some really great music, and a lot of like great music just for the vibes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that was the original message of Whole Lotta Red, just a bunch of vibes and shit, because, bro, some of these songs with like a late night cruise would have been so tough. And even though all of these songs leaked, even for some people, even though it's not officially released, these are like their late night cruising songs. So that should show you how impactful this album would have been. Also, this album would have been impactful because I think we would have seen a change in Cardi's career. I think he would be more of a commercial rapper and not what he is now, because even though Playboi Carti is, of course, a very like commercial artist, he's not like as marketable. And I think if he dropped this album, he would have been more of like a superstar. Like, he is a superstar, but like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, he would have been more like, he is mainstream, but I don't know, like I don't know, like maybe he just would have been like more, I feel like he would have been more of a Drake type rapper, like, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, it's not very much underground influence, you know what I'm saying, it like appeals more to the mainstream type shit. I don't really know how to explain that, but yeah, bro. And I just think that, man, if this album dropped, so much shit would have changed. Like, bro, there would be opium, but there would be no opium, if that makes sense. Like, bro, the opium aesthetic and that whole label, they wouldn't be like fucking darked out and shit, and all these fucking black clothes and shit. Like, them motherfucking niggas, they would look like some normal niggas, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? And I think with this album though too, is that first week sales and immediate, like, you know what I'm saying, reaction to this album would be so much better than Whole Lotta Reds, because this shit deadass had hits that people were waiting for, bro. So just to think, just look at this track list, bro. You got a Whole Lotta Red, you know what I'm saying? You got fucking Buffy the Body, you got Cancun, bro, RPMs, Goku, Asthma, bro. There was so much fire ass, bro. I mean, fire ass songs on this shit, and it just would have been like a hit. So, I think that Cardi would have never tried to act mysterious if this album would have dropped. So that would mean that all the upcoming rappers right now, they wouldn't do this annoying mysterious gimmick, which would also be crazy, because Cardi was the one who kind of started this trend in rap where niggas would just act so like out the way and shit, and that shit is so annoying. But yeah, man, and then the last thing that I think would really have changed is that Cardi would be a superstar, but he wouldn't be like as influential, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe this album would have had the opposite influence, where everyone now is hopping on Pierre Bourne type beats when they rap, and maybe just Cardi, the same influence would have been reversed. But I think honestly, with Whole Lotta Red, I think this just would have been such a great album, version 1, and like people would just, even till this day, replay this shit. Like, this shit would have had hits. Like, you know how Location is played in every party? A bunch of these songs would get played in every party. Shit would have been crazy. And yeah, a lot of people wouldn't act mysterious and shit. And just for Cardi's career especially, I think he would be bigger than even he is now, because even now he's super influential, but he's still pretty huge. Like, he's not underground by any like sort of the imagination. But I just think that there is still, like, I feel like people don't ask Playboi Carti to, like, you know what I'm saying, like promote their brand for like an ad in a playoff game. I feel like if this album dropped, it would have been more of that. And just think about all the like like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, this album would have been crazy, bro. Now, what would have happened if Whole Lotta Red dropped is, I feel like the underground, they wouldn't be in this dark. Like, I don't know if Rage would still happen, but I feel like Rage would be more of a lighter sound, because Whole Lotta Red kind of took the idea of Rage and made that shit more like grungier. I feel like Rage would have been more lighter. So yeah, that's what I think about Whole Lotta Red. And next up, we got the Lil Uzi Vert Eternal Atake Version 1 album. Now, I couldn't really find a bunch of information on this. So the 15 track list, it goes 1600. Of course, I Can't Lose, Moon Relate, Dolly, Myron, Lotus, Rolly, which I think ended up being Bean, Nicki Minaj, Sticky, New Paddock, Fake from the Junk, Run It Up, Come This Way, and Zoom. What do I think about this, bro? I really am starting to think that Eternal Atake V1, like 1600 and Dolly OG, of course, those are classics, but a lot of these songs did end up dropping. So I wonder if this isn't as much of a what if. I think the same shit would have happened with Eternal Atake, because it was so hyped up that like niggas would just, they would get the songs, like it for a couple weeks, and then after be like, what the fuck, we waited 3 years for this? But then later down the line be like, you know what, that was a pretty great album. And honestly, bro, I'm kind of happy the version of Eternal Atake we did get dropped, because imagine we didn't have Chrome Heart tags. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like songs like that, those make the Eternal Atake we have now worth it. So honestly, I feel like Eternal Atake V1 is just Uzi fans being bored, in my opinion. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I think a Whole Lotta Red V1 though, I think that's much more impactful, because there's more hits on that, in my opinion. And maybe I'm just, because I'm a more of a Uzi fan than a Cardi fan, but just in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look as groundbreaking. And maybe it's because most of these tracks didn't end up dropping, so maybe it's like it lost like its magic. But I feel maybe I could see if none of these tracks drop, maybe it would look better. But yeah, bro, honestly, I just think we're good with the Eternal Atake we got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that wouldn't have been bad. But that's it for this video. You know what I'm saying? Like and subscribe. I don't think much would change if Uzi dropped Eternal Atake version 1, but I definitely think a lot would change just in the music industry in general if Whole Lotta Red version 1 dropped. And do you think if Whole Lotta Red V1 dropped, it would have benefited Cardi's career or hurted it in the long run? Let me know. Like and subscribe, comment. I'll catch y'all niggas later, bro. Peace.